welcome back to Leading Voices, Mydesk podcast series where we speak to inspiring women in Fiji. Before I introduce our guest for today, I hope you all enjoyed our episode 1 of Leading Voices. And for those who haven't, please go ahead and watch our episode 1 for Leading Voices and give us your feedbacks. Now, back to our guest today. Today, I'm thrilled to invite and introduce you all to Miss Lailanie Burnes. Miss Lailanie has done amazing things in broadcasting and sports, from TV and radio to sports commentary and her work with Drua. We're so excited to talk about her journey and how she has helped women in Fiji. Without further ado, let us all welcome Miss Lailanie Burnes. Bula Miss Lailanie, how are you this afternoon?
Really well, great to be here. Thanks for having me on your program.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you accepting our invitation and taking out time for us, for our podcast, and coming and to gain from your experiences. And I'm pretty sure there are so many young girls out there, ladies out there who is going to see this episode and will be excited and learn new lessons, life lessons for them. So without further ado, the first question that we would like to ask you is that, Lailanie, you've broken barriers in sports broadcasting and media.
Mm-hmm.
When did you realize that you needed to push for rapid change to make your voice heard and create space for other women in this industry?
Sure. Firstly, thank you so much once again for having me on the show. It's such a privilege to be here as part of the Leading Voices podcast. To answer your question, I feel it actually started from a young age. When I was about 10 years of age, and growing up, I have an amazing family. They've always been so supportive of me. So shout out to all my family out there. You guys are amazing and the best. But like I said, I grew up with a very supportive family. And being a girl, I didn't realize that there was any difference between me and boys, like girls and boys. There was no identification that opportunities were limited until I was told that I could not do something. And then when I got told I couldn't do something, that was back when I was about 10 years of age. And I went to go and try out for a rugby team. And it was a boys' rugby team. And, I went out there with one of my best mates, and no joke, I think we did pretty well. We gave some of those boys some really good tackles and all the rest of it. And in our eyes, we should have made the team. But we went through, and to our disappointment, we found out that we didn't make the team. And being the kind of outspoken young little girl that I was, I wanted to know why. And so I went and asked the coach, and I said, why is it that we did not make it into this team? And we were told, because we're girls. We couldn't play rugby because we're girls. And that just did not sit right with me, So that kind of pushed me to, within myself as a kid, to be able to change the mindset. You're not going to put me into a box, that I'm going to go out there and be the best rugby player that I could potentially be. And
Definitely.
I took that into other areas of my life, whether it be, my career, my academic pursuits, my sporting pursuits, whatever the case may be. I was not going to be discriminated against because of who I was as a woman, as a girl, as a Pacific Islander, a Fijian, whatever you call it. No one was going to discriminate me and put me in a box. And similarly, I was not going to stand in the way of anyone to be able to stop them from achieving their success as well. So it highlighted something to me which I just wanted to share with all your viewers at home as well. And this is something that we need to be mindful of, especially with our young girls and our daughters, right? By the age of 5 years, most girls give up dreaming, in the sense that they stop believing that they could be a professional athlete, that they can be this amazing CEO of a big business, and even they start to fail to dream to want to be the president or the prime minister of a country. And that is something that's systemically wrong. When we look at the boys and girls in our family, research shows that parents are 2 times more likely to provide an educational toy for a boy than what they do for their daughters.
Yes.
And for me, that's terrible, right? We should provide the same opportunities for our boys and for our girls and continue to be able to lift them up and to be able to encourage them to be able to go out and to achieve whatever they put their minds to. So when I looked at the environment here in Fiji, one of the questions that came to mind is, is it conducive for women to be able to prosper, go forward, and to achieve the best that they can within their careers in sporting realms and also within the media itself? And when I look at Fiji, and I know that when a lot of people look at Fiji, they look at Fiji as these stunning blue waters, these beautiful vistas, the smiling faces, and in many cases that is indeed true. But when you scratch just below the surface, then you start to see these inherent social problems that also need to be addressed.
Yes.
I mean, you look at violence against women and girls. It is nothing proud to say that we actually have the third highest rate of violence against women and girls in the entire world. Something like 7 out of every 10 women go through and are victim, either former or current, of violence against, from their partners and so forth.
Yes,
Domestic
true.
violence, physical violence, the list goes on and on.
That's a very sad fact about it.
Indeed. So what do I do about it? I use the platforms that I have, whether it be media, whether it be in sports, to talk about these issues, to bring them to the forefront, to normalize the conversations, and that's how we can make a change.
That is so true. That is so true. And your answers, the facts that you have just stated now, is really eye-opening to me, to basically all the women out there who will be watching our episode. And one thing you said that I strongly agree with, family support.
Yep.
If a girl, especially a girl, has that family support, that strong family support, that no, you can do anything as well. You can do wonders as well. You can do what a boy can do.
100%.
Then I believe that woman, that girl, that lady can will make history. And we have a lady who has made history here with us. So
she's too kind. I've been telling her off camera, she's too kind.
Moving forward, as a prominent media personality, you had a powerful platform. How have you used your voice to drive faster progress in your conversations around gender equality and empower women in Fiji, particularly in the realm of sports?
Yep. So I'll touch a little bit about, because I believe in terms of who I am as a person, while sport has taken up such a prominent part of my life, there's so many different factors of us women. And I'm going to talk to you about some of the other factors that make up my life as a career person, as a sports person, and a media personality, and so forth. But, in my journey, I have been truly blessed. I've been blessed in the sense that I have been given opportunities to be able to have a voice, to have a platform that I can speak out and to try and influence some sort of change where I think is needed. So when I'm talking about the different spheres that I apply myself in, one that I talk about is, of course, when I had the honor of being able to represent Fiji as the captain of the captain of the Fijiana 15s rugby team. Secondly, as a businesswoman. And thirdly, as a media personality. Now, when I talk about, my space, my sphere, and my platform when it comes to rugby, I've really had the opportunity there as a former captain to be able to go into spaces that traditionally women are not meant to be in. Us as a women rugby player, being out there in the pitch, when I was playing rugby, that was a controversial matter or, fact within itself. And we had a lot of people out there that was saying, why are we out there? We're a waste of money. Get back into the kitchen. We heard all the taunts. We heard all these things that were, jeered at us and thrown at us as well. But, the great opportunity that came with that is to show that, yes, we are women, that we have got the skill, that what it takes, and to be able to take that on the chin so that we could also influence some change for the women that are coming in our bootsteps. Right? And I'm really pleased to be able to see now that we've got we've got world-class athletes when it comes to our rugby players. They're out there winning bronze medals. They're winning Super W championships. And, I could not have been prouder. And I'm sure that all the amazing trailblazing women that had come before me are sitting there and looking at these women and just going, wow, it is amazing to see what they have been able to achieve. But in addition to my former the captain of the Fijiana 15s women's team, I've also had the ability to be able to go into other areas. For instance, I'm also a level 3 World Rugby accredited coach. And when you look at coaching of rugby in Fiji, for people that hold that level 3 accreditation, there's only 20 in the country, right? And of that 20, only 2 are women. And for us to be able to go through as women and being able to prove ourselves out there that we do actually are able to hold this qualification and we are able to proceed and to be able to apply our knowledge and give back, that's a really great reward as well. And that is also another sphere of influence that we can also share our message to. And the other great thing about rugby as well is that I'm also a World Rugby accredited coach educator and a QA trainer. And I'm one of two or three within the country at the moment with this accreditation. But what I love about this is because when I am wearing my coach educator hat as a teacher, I get out there and run level 1 and level 2 coaching courses. And whenever I go into a classroom, when I look across the classroom and I see all my students that are sitting there, the majority of students are men, right? Oh. And so when I look across the classroom, I can see as soon as I walk in their faces, and they look at me as a woman, as usually a younger woman than what they are, and you can see the confusion just written all over their face. Am I in the right classroom? What am I doing here? What am I going to learn about rugby that I don't already know? And what am I going to learn from a woman? And I love this opportunity to teach these courses because it gives me the chance to change mindsets out there. And I can do that because I head out there in front of the men and I just get on with my course. And you can see that, you know, as the course goes along, there's a light bulb moment that appears and you see the light in their eyes and they look at me and they go, oh, hang on a sec. I actually don't know everything that I thought I knew about rugby, and I'm actually here learning from a woman. And I love that. You know, being able to have this space to be able to change the mindsets in our communities is just an amazing opportunity to do. But, you know, when it comes back to business, you know, I've been very fortunate to have quite a successful professional career. And, you know, being able now to get into leadership and governance roles so that now I can also sit at a board level and look at policies that are going to be able to make opportunities more accessible for women. But it's not just about women. And I know your program is about women, but it's also about a more inclusive Fiji where everyone is given the opportunity, you know, from our different groups, because we are not just one group, one gender. We are made up of so many people from different backgrounds, and that's what makes Fiji so beautiful and who we are. Yeah?
Yeah.
But the last area of influence that I wanted to touch on was in terms of my media role and, you know, being a co-host for ABC's Fresh Off the Field and as a Super Rugby commentator and also with my roles with FBC. I think first and foremost, it's all about showing people that we can do it.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
Showing men and showing women that we have what it takes to be able to get out there and to be able to, you know, enter these spaces. And I think it's also important as well that, you know, we as women, we always second guess ourselves. We have what's called as imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And sometimes it's all about seeing is believing. If I can see it, I can be it.
Yes.
And so, you know, that's what I love about being able to go out into the media space as a commentator, even in my program, which is Soaring Marama. And what I love about this program, and it's very, very dear to my heart, is that it is the first designated women in sports program in Fiji. And the great thing about that is that through this program, we're able to share the stories of some truly inspirational women, you know? But in addition to being able to share their stories, we're also able to touch on the issues that are challenging our country. So it's really good to be able to have that platform to, you know, to be able to inspire the next generation of women and girls that are going to follow. I said boot steps previously, but now I'm going to say in our high heels. And in addition to that, it's also about bringing these issues to the forefront, but also normalizing the conversations out there as well. Normalizing it for the young boys so that they can start to see and understand and accept women into non-traditional spaces.
True.
And also growing up that they'll know that it's the norm, that women do have a place here. And it's also about changing the mindset of men. So, as I said, very, very fortunate to be able to have these different spheres that I've been able to, you know, voice my opinions and share, and to be able to try and make a collective change to be able to put Fiji into a brighter future.
Totally agree with that. I mean, like you said, it's all about changing the mindset of men, boys. I believe that it all begins at home. Believe that if the right education is given at the right time and about the right mindset, then a lot can happen. A lot can be changed in a positive way. And not only for women, not only for girls, but for men as well, for boys as well. For them to see, to understand us as much as we want to see and understand them. So thank you, Lailanie, for showing us the light, the right path. And I think you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Moving on to this year's International Women's Day theme emphasizes on accelerate action. What specific steps do you believe are most crucial to speed up the process of representation and recognition of women in Fijian sports and media? And what role can individuals and organizations play in driving that change?
Well, first and foremost, I believe it starts with us. It starts with us as women. We need to be able to continuously develop ourselves. And, you know, you talked about, you know, yes, it first starts at home. But, you know, in case you didn't have that opportunity or that upbringing, that should not stop you. It should not limit you. You know, so always have a teachable spirit, continue to develop yourself so that you are ready. And once you think that you are ready, put your hand up. Be brave. Say, yes, I'm ready. I'm here to be able to take that next step in my career, whether it's in media or being able to go and play in a sporting team or in business or leadership and governance roles. Be brave, because fear will only limit your success.
True.
Right?
Wise words.
So it's really important that, you know, you put your hand up there. And also as an organizational level, it's important to understand that when women are ready to step into those roles, that they look at it not as a token placement. We want women who are ready to step into these positions. Why? Because they're the best people for the job. We don't want women to go into these roles just because they're a token woman and, you know, not much is going to be able to be, carried out, or it's not going to be effective in that sense. So, yes, as a woman, put your hand up. As an organization, don't make it as a token placement. And lastly, I'd probably say that don't let adversity stop you. You need to be resilient. You know, here in Fiji, we know that you're going to have challenges. It comes with the job of just being a woman and being a human being, right? So that's okay. But let your setback be a setup for greater things to come. So grow a thick skin. People are going to talk. That's okay, but don't let it stop you.
Like you just said, people are going to talk. In Hindi, we have a saying, "Kuch to log kahenge, logo ka kaam hai kehna." That means people are going to speak. It's their job, no matter what you do. Either you move forward or you stay at one place. Someone is always going to have an opinion of you.
That's right.
Right? But then it's your decision to what you want to do. Right? It's either you want to move forward or if you just want to stay there. I mean, like, look at David and Goliath story from the Bible, right?
You know what? I use that metaphor all the time. You, like, picked my brain right there.
Great minds think alike.
Here.
Yeah, so, I mean, look at that story, right? I mean, if David at that point doubted himself, you know, if he had self-doubt and if he didn't have that braveness in him, you know, if he wasn't bold enough, if he wasn't brave enough, and if he did not believe in himself, he wouldn't have done what he did.
Exactly.
Right? So, ladies, believe in yourself. Be brave, just like her.
Oh, like all of us.
Of
and
course.
just adding on to that story of David and Goliath as well. You know, Goliath, everyone has their Goliaths.
Yes.
But you know what? Goliath was put there for a reason. That was David's challenge. And he was only able to persevere and reach his true potential because of Goliath. So because of the challenges that come into your life. So use that as a speed bump, continue to move forward, and also project you into the next, you know, opportunity in your life.
I mean, we all have our challenges, right? We all have our Goliaths. So we just need that courage like David.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wanted to ask you one question. We have all come across our challenges, and we all motivate ourselves, right? How do you motivate yourself to face your challenges?
I have a great support system. Yeah. I always hold true to what is my why, what is my passion, what is it that gets me out of bed every single day. And, you know, like I said, challenges may come, but that's okay. It's part of life. Just keep moving forward. So what motivates me? I want to continue to be the best version I can. I want to continue to develop myself. Like I was sharing with you earlier, you know, I actually decided to go off in a little bit of a new trajectory in terms of education and so forth. But, you know, it doesn't matter what age you are, what stage you are, just keep pushing yourself. Just keep on seeing what is the next thing that you want to be able to achieve, and what is it that you want to be able to give back to the next generation. You know, it's about what we can do to make the world a better place for those that can come. So that's kind of my motivation.
Right. You've inspired many women through your device career. What advice would you give to a young woman who are looking to accelerate their progress in their own paths in media or sports, especially when facing challenges or setbacks?
First and foremost, have faith in yourself. It starts with you. If you want to be anything in this world, it has to come from you. True. You can't have someone that's going to tell you, oh, you should go and do this, and you go and do this. You're not going to put your heart into it, right? So it has to start with you to be able to take that first step. Once you've taken that first step, like we said previously, it's about continuously trying to develop yourself to make yourself the best version you can possibly be. And in addition to that, you know, be resilient. Like we said, you're going to have challenges. It's okay. It's part of life. But just keep on persevering, keep pushing through, and don't let anyone sway you from being able to chase and achieve your dream.
True.
You know, just keep focused, keep striving, and when opportunities do present themselves, put your hand up. Take that step forward. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. But honestly,
of course,
you have to,
yes,
right?
you have to. Just before we wrap up, you are a true inspiration to many ladies and young women out there. But who inspires you? Who is your inspiration?
My family.
Yeah?
Yeah, my family. I've got such an amazing family. You know, so I constantly wake up and think of them. You know, they're not with me here in Fiji. They are abroad. But my family is my inspiration, and also what I can do to make this world a better place for those that come after me. So that's my inspiration.
Thank you. With that, thank you so much, Lailanie, for sharing your incredible experience with us. You're a true inspiration to me, to Fazila, and to all the young ladies out there in sports field, in media, and even in the corporate field. Okay. And thank you for being part of the Leading Voices. It was a pleasure, a true pleasure having you over here. Thank you. We will see you again. Naka.
Naka.